Hey guys, it's Mr. Good here. You can see my face, especially the lower half of my face, so you won't be seeing that in class. Thought you'd, like to see the whole me for a minute. Anyway, even though I'm a little floating head in the corner. So this is a video for helpful hints with 1.1.1. Since this is the first one of these, I'm going to do a little more just general stuff too. Like if you go to my classroom, at the very top, I'll keep moving this to the top, should be our lesson plans. And if you click on that, it'll take you here. This has everything you need. So if we're looking at 1.1.1, you'll see right here on, this is like our virtual Wednesday, your digital footprint, know what data you share in your electronic life. It's got these links to Google Draw, Lucid Chart, an example one, I'll show you that in a minute, this helpful hints video, and a link to your notebook. You could also get your notebook from here. Now I made a different video for the notebook. Looks like this. You should always basically have this up and also have your PLTW page up. That's where you go to PLTW, you log in and get to the section you're in. So when I'm doing this lesson, I have my lesson plan, my link for my notebook, and my link for 1.1.1, and I'll be jumping back and forth between them. So basically, here's some helpful hints for 1.1.1, because it's a little weird. You don't have the virtual machine going on. So you're going to read the goals, defining cybersecurity. You'll take the self-assessment. That's actually your lesson plan for Tuesday, and you're going to go through here and, or whichever day it shows up for you, and you'll go to 1.1.1, jump to the bookmark, and basically I put a link here the first time. It's got the end result, and here's your self-assessment. You'll answer these questions right here. You'll say, what is cybersecurity? Why do we need it? What is effect? What's a spam email? So you'll get those answers. You either know them now. It's okay if you don't know them. And then later on, you can go back at the very end and we'll see how much you learned. Then here's a little intro video where you're going to answer the question. So that's pretty straightforward. You're going to be like, okay, number 2 is answer the questions from here. Okay, so then we get to the cyber case, and this I actually want to spend a little bit of time on because it is what you're going to solve at the end of the whole unit. And it's kind of cool. They have a big lesson at the end of the whole unit. So I'm sure you can imagine this. This has happened to everybody at some point. Well, if you have devious friends. So you're in the high school cafeteria one morning. I'm planning to meet your friends, and you go get something to drink and left your Chromebook out on the table. You figure you'll only be away for a minute or two. So when you get back to the table, you see your friends arrived, and then you close your laptop and go to class. The next time you open your laptop, you see a suspicious file on your desktop. And then you think about everything that's on your computer and at risk, and you start to worry about how that file got on your computer. How can you figure out what might have been touched? How can you fix anything that's been altered? And most importantly, how can you keep this from happening again? So that is the lessons that we're going to learn in this whole unit. And we're going to come back and actually solve that problem at the end. So, all right. So that's a situation that could happen to anyone. Hopefully after cybersecurity, you'll know not to do that. This is something we'll come back up to over and over again. A lot of times in your reports, you're going to have to say, I identified my assets, I protected them by doing this, I detected these incidents. And what's important to know about this is cybersecurity, you could start off wherever you are, wherever in this circle, and just keep it going, and it goes around and around again. Like sometimes you just notice something's wrong, so you detected something wrong, and then you make a plan, and then you try to get your computer working, and then so you could You could start off anywhere in here and you don't just go around once. All right, so the first thing you're going to do in this lesson on after your self-assessment is you're going to come up with your own digital footprint. And that's what I wanted to make a helpful hints thing for. It says either on paper or using a flow chart. Since we're virtual, we're going to do a flow chart. And you're going to think about everything that you have that's connected to the internet. That's what's kind of cool about this class is it starts very personal, like what is vulnerable of my stuff, and then we go out to like, how about your personal computer? How about the network you live on at home? How about, a bigger network? So we kind of get bigger as it goes, and I like that setup to this class. So here's what I want you to do for number 4. Number 4 is the biggest part of this whole lesson, and that's you making a flow chart of your digital footprint, your personal one. So everyone's is going to be different. Now, if you go over here, you'll see in my lesson plans, I put an example there so you can just get an idea of what one looks like. This is one that's just very general. For a teacher, as soon as it loads up, and this was done in maybe Google Draw, but yeah, it has like a computer which connects to email, and then what data is on email. I have files and images and text, not like text, but actual Word documents and stuff. I connect to social media from my computer. And what's that show? Well, if I ever check in, which I tend not to because I've taken this class before, or you're giving information out, you have photos, you have videos. So you're trying to think, and a lot of these will overlap. You can see your phone, you use search engines and social media and texting, and then I have a whole section for schoolwork. So this is just an example, but what I want you to do is make up your own, so it won't look just like mine. And how are you going to make it? You're either going to make it on Google Draw or Lucid Chart. I personally like Lucid Chart. It's free. Make it with your home email address instead of your school one. That way your stuff doesn't disappear after you're a student and you can keep it, or you can do it with your school because you can just click log in with Google. So I'm going to do that real quick and show you what it looks like. So when I log in, if I'm going to make a flow chart, I go up here to new, blank document, and I'm going to make, well, it's going to load for a second. Everything's a little slower on here. Here I can pause it. So, oh, there it goes. So I'm going to title this, instead of blank diagram, I'm going to put K-Good digital footprint. Right? And then if I want a computer, what's kind of cool is like, it looks like we only have kind of lame shapes here. But if you put computer monitor, you can see there's these like screens. So if I want to just drag this on, there's my monitor. And I can write home computer or something like that on it. If I want a cell phone, this is why I like this better than Draw, because I don't have to do as much. There's like a Nokia from back in the day. Wow, look at that. You can probably type in iPhone and get a better looking phone. I think they actually have almost every kind. But anyway, you're going to do this, and then, if I want to change the text in here, I can make it say whatever I want. And say, this is my Chromebook, and the other one's my home. I can have 2 computers. I can have a cell phone, and then you can go back to close that window out, and you can say, okay, what kind of data do I have from my computer? And that's where, I showed you the example. I have emails, and then within emails, the important part I want you to think about is what's in your emails. I have photos in some emails. I have other things like documents that I share with other teachers. So I'm going to put all the data and try to just get a visual of what is out there from me. Do people know my locations? Do they know where I went on vacation? Do I have bank account information stored on my computer and stuff like that. So you want to think of your entire footprint and what you go to. Do companies know, like Google knows I've been to a website on for tennis shoes, and then they start throwing me ads on that. So that's browsing data that's out there. So you got all this stuff, and what's really nice is it keeps this. It automatically saves. Oh, I can maybe connect it to Classroom, or you can share it. What I usually like to do is, imagine I got this all done and it's pretty. I go to File, and I want to export it as a PDF. So once it's all done and beautiful, I export as a PDF, and then I turn in my PDF. Or I don't, oh, not a PDF. Cancel that. I can get my beautiful thing and export it as a PNG. So pick PNG or JPEG, and you can actually put it in here under number 4. So under my digital footprint of Google Drawing, if I went in here and I exported it as a PNG or a JPEG, you can put it in Google Doc. But if you do it as a PDF, I don't think it lets you drag it in. So just know that. That's another helpful hint. This is going on a little long, so I'm going to kind of stop it there. One other thing I'll say is about the Classroom Code of Conduct. You know, read this stuff. You are going to have a document. We're going to have a document for all my cybersecurity classes right here. It'll be an active link, and you're going to contribute a couple ideas to add to our Classroom Code of Conduct. And once we put everyone's together, we'll kind of solidify the main ideas we see. And if you're having trouble coming up with stuff, you know what? There's Google. So cyber security class code or code of conduct. And you can look at what other things are out there. I mean, some of these are not useful, but some are. Maybe me, I will not steal property, time, or resources, you know, or I will look the other way when someone types in their password. So that kind of stuff. So when you come up with your ideas, you don't have to like reinvent the wheel. Do a little research and pick some that you actually think we need in our class. Okay, so that's 1.1.1. That's the notebook. This one was a little long because, well, it's kind of the beginning, and I needed to help you out with that. All right. Well, I will talk to you guys later. Adios.